Miss Kathy Champon? Same as that. To top LISD spelling bee winners? She's not here tonight? Okay, so, oh wait a minute. Here she is.
I am here, but unfortunately the one of our winners took me.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you come up and announce their names anyways? Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, members of the board and community. It is my pleasure to inform you that, unfortunately, my pleasure first to inform you the two winners for our district spelling bee. Our first place winner was Tasia Kamara, 5th grader from Wellington Elementary, and this is the first time that an elementary school student has won in the past 7 years, so it was quite an honor for him. And our second place winner was Lindy Ho, a 7th grader from Briar Hill Middle School.
Thank you. I'd like to call Miss Becky McDonald for the Colony HB grant update. Come on.
How difficult it is to work across disciplines, how difficult it is to communicate across the disciplines. We had to figure out what each other needed in order to complete the project, and I think that was the biggest hurdle we had to overcome.
One of the wonderful tools that HP provided for us was the Dino program. Dino is a classroom management software that combines the power of student response tools, class capture software, note-taking, and interactive whiteboard functionality into one easy-to-use solution. This program opened huge doors of advanced learning for our students. They became excited about and engaged in the learning process. Not only did this lead to higher student achievement, but it has become an invaluable tool for our teachers.
When I found out that we were awarded the HP grant, I was really excited because that gave me an opportunity to really utilize the technology in the classroom. And when it all came in, we were very overwhelmed with what we received. Our mouths just dropped. And sure, we had some problems in the beginning. There were a few issues, getting the wiring working, getting the software in, getting things going. But once we got the stuff into the kids' hands, they took off.
The project was bigger than any of us ever imagined. And that through the research that the students were doing, we illuminated the limitations of the chemistry lab and the ability to produce the power requirements that an electric car would actually deserve. That was kind of troublesome. That was kind of worse. It was overwhelming from my point of view.
I had no idea what we were going to do, what we were going to build. And so when we went to that first meeting and talked about building an electric car, I was very excited about that because that was something that's definitely in the future. And any way that we can get our kids involved using technology and in applying that knowledge to something that they're going to be able to create, I think that's a wonderful thing.
I think that the biggest difference I noticed in myself in the first year is that I'm trying to incorporate more technology in the classroom, not in terms of what I use, but what the students use.
The learning process in the classroom has gone from me being the sole person giving information to the students actually getting onto the computers and finding out information. I've gone to a 5E model where the students are actually doing the exploring, finding out about the material, the concept, the idea, long before I started even talk to them about it. And this having computers in my classroom every day and students using them has changed the way my classroom looks. If you walk in now, I'm not in the front telling them what to do, and I'm monitoring them. I'm going up and down the aisles, helping them, answering their questions, and they're getting much more a personal education, where before it was just the whole room got the education. So this grant has been great.
The engineering portion of it, while we had a lot of success with the design, actually building something that was our own design became very difficult as far as getting the parts that we needed and trying to build something from scratch. We just didn't have the fabrication possibilities here at the school to do something like that. In the second year, we continued along with the theme of environmental energy, but we had to switch gears a little bit on the design factor, where instead of building something from scratch, which was apparently next to impossible, we had to change over to a retrofit. And the idea was, if you had an old gas-powered vehicle that was a gas guzzler, wanted to just pull the engine out and completely replace it with an electric-powered motor, this is how we would do it. So we took some of our designs and said, what could we modify these designs to fit that's already somewhat pre-existing? And the idea came about that, well, we can't exactly do a full-size car, but we could do a smaller version of the same idea. Take a gas-powered go-kart, take it apart, take all the gas-powered components out, and then retrofit it and redesign it to run on electricity. Some ideas were also put forth about where this project could possibly lead to in the future, as far as powering the car and charging the batteries. We've had some ideas about making it solar powered, either putting solar panels directly on the car or building a solar station that you can park it under and just plug it in and have it charge that way.
Hello, my name is George Galosa, and I was in Mr. Kuehl's AP Physics C class of 2010, and I worked on the electric car project the last 9 weeks and helped in the conceptual designing of the car.
I am Kevin Nguyen, and I was in the first 9 weeks of Kuehl's independent study class, and I also worked on the car.
We were actually thinking of building actual batteries using the chemistry class during that time and building a rechargeable battery. And but to get that idea to work, we would need multiple voltage cells that actually produce at least 12 amps of current.
Right now it's fully assembled and it's working.
The novelty of the new technology won students over. Teachers reported more student enthusiasm and active participation in learning on the days the tablets and laptops were used in class. HP Grant teachers moved from teacher-centered to student-centered learning. We met regularly to coordinate lessons and to meet project deadlines. By the end of the first year, we had created designs for the car and battery, and our teachers were comfortable with the laptops, tablets, and software. When our physics teacher got the flu this spring, he was able to teach his class during the school day from home using the Dino software and HP tablets. We've had absent students join in during class from their home computer. Our teachers have also been able to save lecture notes in real time for absent students to view from home. Before receiving this grant, over 80% of the students at the Colony High School use technology at home every day, whereas only 33% of our students use technology in the classroom every day. In the HP Grant Student Survey, HP students indicated that HP Grant teachers use technology 94% of the time in their classes, whereas only 71% of the non-HP Grant teachers use technology every day.
Being a small part of helping get things donated and getting the car together. So in the second year, actually, the car had come together, and it was great to see how each team member put the time in to make this a successful grant project.
My participation has made me a lot more aware of not an afterthought of technology, but thinking, okay, how can I integrate this while I'm planning? Finding little places here and there just to do something. And trying to get kids familiar with different technologies and different ways to use it for good and not evil. You know, not being social network technology adept, but being, you know, work and educationally adept with the technology. And I think that's been the biggest difference for me, is finding ways just to put little pieces in here and there.
The HP Grant teachers are excited about the possibility of being able to continue to use the HP technology in their classrooms. The tablets and software have become an integral part of successful lessons. The students and teachers alike have embraced the technology that was provided to us from the HP grant. As this project comes to a close, we can see a side benefit in the increase in project and CBA scores, along with an increase in interest in science, technology, engineering, and math careers. We would like to thank Hewlett-Packard for their generosity and their commitment to education.
I know that video was a little bit long, but you're talking about 2 years worth of work that we just crammed into about 10 or 11 minutes worth of video. When we did it, we did try to span the HP grant across disciplines. Charles Frege, and I don't know if Charles is here tonight, but he helped work on the development of the grant. I want to introduce the grant team members, and I have them kind of in alphabetical order. Ann Bond, who was math. Rochelle Hill, who was our our grant coordinator. She was a person that kept everybody honest and made sure they met every month and kept moving forward, which you get a bunch of teachers together and they just wanted to do, and they start talking, and she was like, okay, that is not why we're here today. We need to talk about who's doing this. So she's pretty good at that. Sean Hood, who is the English department. Greg Cool, who is physics, and that's the person you saw driving around in the car, and the car is right outside, and it does work still. Kay Martin, who did our marketing and advertising and was instrumental in developing this video. Kim Mosley, who is the science department chair and worked with these science people to make sure everybody was staying in a positive direction. And I might add that all of these people integrated and embraced the technology that HP provided to us. Elaine Porter, who's Spanish, and you didn't see this tonight, but there will be a Spanish version of this video because they will be presenting it this summer in Philadelphia. So they'll be traveling to Philadelphia this summer. Holly Stroud, who worked with Kay Martin to develop this video, and actually with any technology problems we had, she's a technology facilitator on our campus. Richard Solstead, who was the chemistry portion of this and the development of the batteries. And then we have 4 students that worked on this grant. And let me tell you something, these kids came during Thanksgiving holidays, they came during spring break. Mr. Cool was always coming down, Miss McDonald, do you mind if we work during this holiday? And I was like, excuse me, I have students that want to come on the holiday to work. No, I don't have a problem with that. Clay Rowe, Nick Ray, Vincent Wynn, and George Galliosa.